Non, rien de rien. Non, je ne regrette rien.
We began to connect with people. We found out that Capon, Seymour Capon, who was the guy that started the tree program in Winter Park. The guy that said plant trees, and now Winter Park is a tree city, you know, whatever they,
Yes.
I mean, there's some designation. And he started that. Well, his family and Alvin Polasek
Exactly.
were friends
That was
in
cool.
Chicago
Yeah.
years ago. And all of a sudden, Thad Seymour from Rollins College connected us with, you know, here's a niece of Capon here. And so anyway, you know, it's an amazing project, but here we are in this small museum in Winter Park that has a connection with, you know, the Capons, has a connection with the Woodrow Wilson project in Prague. I mean, we're a pretty amazing little place.
Ah, thank you so much. It's raining.
Yeah.
It's better like that. It's not. And you know, it could have been more because and I came back in '69 to stay. And I love Florida. And Florida has changed, hasn't it? But in '69, Florida was a paradise. It was not underdeveloped. And so I got myself a little boat, and I went to the Central River, and I was painting on the boat, Florida landscape. You see some at the end of the presentation. And that's it. So that's one thing. Another thing is, all my life I have two jobs. One job to eat, and one job to make my art. And when I was a kid and I told my grandfather, you know, I want to be an artist, well, the first thing you do, you get yourself a serious job. And he says, what you have to do also, learn to play a musical instrument, the accordion or the violin, because when you are flat broke, you will be, as an artist, you can go in the street, put your hand down, and a kid. So that's the story. So many times in my life I ask myself, what I am, what I want to do. And you know, young people, some they are very, very fortunate because at 1980s, they know what they want to do. I want to be a doctor, I want to be an actor. But me, I had no idea. And and of course there was a war overlapping with this first year. And you know, so, and when I was asking this question, even in my 40s and 50s, I said, I am an artist. That's what I am. So I should be art. My mother used to tell me, you have to do what you like, which is very nice, but plenty of people do what they like. They do what they have to do. So I did what I have to do to eat, and what I liked to make art. So I had my cake and eating too. And so that's what I did all my life. I have always studied art. And if you have children, and I was very fortunate because basically as a child I had a very, very good education. I went to 10 school, college in France basically during the war because I was moving to this all the time. And I was kicked out from one to the other. And they kicked me out because they suspected that I was no good, so they were right about that. And my father was involved with the intelligence service who were assisting spies. And at 14, 15, 16, that's what I was doing. So you get caught with them. get caught doing this, the German knew how to fight the war. You know, like that. So I found myself in Paris in 1914, just 3 months before the day. And I was living alone. I was renting a little one room by the edge of Paris, and I was working for a very famous, I was very fortunate to have this job, printer, Theo Schmidt, and I was an apprentice illustrator. And I worked on a book which is called L'Agneau du Maghreb, is the name of the Maghreb. It was a book of poems, and in on this illustration, I don't know if they put it on the corner. So anyway, that I was doing that. That's for bread and butter. There was not much of that at that time. But I used to buy a potato on the black market, one potato at a time. In France, during the summer, very hot, there was a camembert. You know what a camembert is? That orange cheese there. It stinks when
Yes.
when it melts, it stinks. And he saw this money and he said, wow, that's it. I'm going to make something like that. And you look at this painting and you're going to see another thing. You see, my grandmother, Matisse, she used to say, you know, when I was a kid, I would eat, this is my sandwich. And I take the bread here, and I put the meat here, and the salad here, and I eat separate. So she used to say, you are like Daddy. You have a stomach with drawer. And you put the bread in one drawer, and if you look at Daddy's painting, you see those drawers there. So there are people who have stomach, drawer stomach. So that's it. No, and I'll tell you another story about my grandfather. It's funny. My mother was diplomed from the prestigious, my mother was diplomed from the prestigious school Les Beaux-Arts de Paris. Woo! So, that's very funny about Les Beaux-Arts. And so she was a painter, she was a decorateur, she was a ceramist. And when I was about 14, she tried to teach me color, the rule of color. Get that here, put that here. I could figure out that technical business at all. My idea of color was this. They used to give me, send me to Sunny, the color merchant, the artist shop here, you know, to run errand for my parents when they was working in Paris there. And I used to see those colors. Oh, this is what I need. This is what I need. I have for 25 colors, that's not enough. There might be 1,000 colors. Can you imagine what I could do if I had all those colors? That's the secret. So, you know, if you have 20 colors, you're a 20-bit artist. But if you have 50 colors, you're a 50-bit artist, which is much better. So, in between my extravagant collection of color, I had about 30 at the time, you know, and I was turning crap. And my mother was telling me about color, that wasn't matching at all. So finally my mother told me, your grandfather has agreed to give you a color lesson. Now, that was, my grandfather, you could not talk to him, you could not see him because he was busy. He had no time for nobody. He was obsessed with that. I saw him only once without a pencil or a brush or a piece of charcoal in his hand. Once. And so I was living in Paris and he was living in Nice. So anyway, we went to Nice in the summer, the spring summer of 1939, I remember. And so I went to see my grandfather. And I had that shoebox there, about 30 tubes of pectin. And I had learned the technical name of those, the jargon of those, they have funny names, you know. So I say, when I talk about those, you know, ultraviolet, sienna, chichi, you know, he's going to be very impressed. And so I go there, and he was in his studio. He was sketching something, he has a piece of charcoal in his hand. And he said, okay, Pierre, put your box here on the table. All right. He had his charcoal in his hand. Ultramarine. Okay. Vermilion. Okay. You would say yellow something. Yellow something. So we have yellow, we have blue, we have red, and we have white. It was a very poisonous white at that time. It was made with lead white oxide, and he told me don't eat that. Okay. So he said, no, he said, those 4 colors, you take them with you, you go and you pair with that. The box I confiscate and I forbid you to buy any more of those crazy colors. End of the lesson. Bye-bye, tell your parents I love them. So I'm getting out. Is that okay, Jenny? No.
I think everybody can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, good. And I said, my God, the old man is batty. He is losing his mind. Set me up for a fall. No way I can paint with 4 miserable colors. That's ridiculous. You know? So, after that, I start thinking about it. And I said to myself, well, you know, I'm going to show him that I can do it anyway. Anyway. And for the first time in life, I could figure it out. I can see that when you start mixing those colors in a certain way, you can green, you can brown. It was a little bit difficult. It was not consistent because I forgot the mix, but it improved. Now, through my life after that, I came up in my 30s, mid 30s, I was using 17 colors. I have reverted to my old vice there, but I was using some restraint, and I was turning very good stuff. So I remember I was in Washington DC, I was working in the building, the cities, the manufacturer. I said to myself, you know, why don't I try that myself? And that's what I did. And it was during the war, I had difficulty finding paper, find paint. So he was painting the paper. Now we got fantastic paper. That paper is superb. We have material going.
Do you use scissors or do you use like an
If you go, when we go to the museum, I will show you what I use. Mostly something that not the for the very, very thin piece. Mostly is very grown. You know those tools that you break the cutter. Because you always have a fresh blade, and you can but very hard on your wrist. I'll tell you why. Yes. Any other question?
It's about your grandfather. I love that painting, or the cutout he did where he cut all the swimmers and he put it around, I read he put it around his dining room and he made...
Yeah, and you know the funny, he was working so big.
Did you see that?
Yeah, he was on the wall and he had an assistant putting those pieces where he wanted them. They have a terrible time now with those paper cuts of his museums because they are not archived. And to protect them is very, very difficult.
Thank you so much for visiting us here. We really appreciate it. I have a question about your process.
Yeah.
You do a lot of cutout, you do some painting. How do you decide to find creativity for each? Is it the same, same way?
You know, I have ideas. And so I have 1,000 ideas, and there are 900 who are bad. So I try something, eventually something works, and I just, I am slow. My grandfather used to do the same thing over and over again. And Picasso used to tell him, oh, you do the same thing over and over again, you know your best one was the first one anyway, what do you do? And yours like this too, but it's trying to do better and better. So it's a slow process, you do it a little bit at a time. And eventually, so I draw it precisely, and after that I select the color and then cut it, and that's it. Sometimes it comes okay, sometimes it goes to the garbage. Yeah, that's what I thought, and that's-
Yes.
Thank you. All right. So, yes,
Why don't you show them the lino cuts and at least one of the,
yeah, I do also lino cut.
because you should show them your.
What do you want to do? He said, we are going to do a Sunni together. So they were filming that. So I said, okay, I say I can do that. I'm going to make, I do it, I'm going to make a fool of myself. Either way, I'm going to do a fool of myself anyway. So I might as well try. So I tried, and it was not very good, but it wasn't that bad either. And when I told him, I said, so first time I do that. He said, the first time? Yes. He said, I have plenty of artist friends. There's no way they can do that for the first time. Well, I said, it's not very good. But he said, for some time, for the first time, pretty good. All right. So I start studying that. So I said to myself, now wait a minute. That monk there, 3,000 years ago, we took a piece of bamboo, okay, and he pulled the hair out of a horse and a cat, and a fox or whatever, and he wrapped it up on his bamboo, and he took some black stuff there, put it with water, and he started doing that.
Ni le bien